2v2 Calderis Refinery blue team. First up is Rags, plays a big angry Warboss melee commander that walks through cover, very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines, and can be incredibly tough late game. And alongside is Metroidd, plays a force commander, very versatile, fights in melee combat, great offense but can also tank, disrupt and support with buffs. This is Dark Angels DLC recolored. We have these robed tactical marines. Red team, Gote, or perhaps Gote, I'm not sure, plays a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive commander that is great at manipulation and crowd control, can also kill you pretty well too, has a bunch of spells. And rounding us out is Floid as a big stompy Hive Tyrant, very durable commander that walks through cover and cannot be suppressed. Great offense, disruption and support, begins with a basic synapse but no other abilities. Double shooter standard opening for Rags. He'll be on the west side looking after blue team's natural victory point. Red team have a natural on the east side looked after by Floid, and as a contested victory point mid. Looks like tactical marines are taking it with that 50% faster cap speed, and there it is. Double scouts up for Metroidd, not the build you see all that often outside of 1v1. Can be very powerful though. I always say you tell the great players from the good players for Space Marines by how well they use their scouts. So we'll see how Metroidd does. Warboss in amongst a bunch of Hormagaunts. That was actually a special attack which uses the same animation as his stomp, which is his starting ability. You can tell it wasn't a stomp because his energy hasn't gone down. Scouts with shotguns all ready for Metroidd. Is he going to go for an early power sword on that side, Metroidd? Put pressure on these Chaos Space Marines, also go after any warrior brutes that appear. There is the stomp from the Warboss, knockback, disruption and some damage. Tactical Marines using their Kraken bolts or Kraken bolts, which won't actually help them out, only affects heavy infantry, of which Floid has none at the moment, and he has gone for his double Hormagaunts build, which he's been using a lot recently. Double Hormagaunts, double Termagants. He's been going for some really swarmy builds which can get painful for him or his enemy, can snowball into something very difficult to deal with, or it can get absolutely owned in tier 2, especially by area of effect stuff. We'll see how it does. Usually follows it up with a Barb Strangler Warrior Brood. 492, 469. Maybe extended Carapace to combat setup teams, and we do have Metroidd going for Devastators and a Pain Boy on the way for Rags. Warboss already has those angry bits, allows him to charge into combat and boost his health regen. Really awesome disruption war gear, retains usefulness throughout the game. Double Termagants with Toxin Sacks up for Floid. 15 power upgrade that gives them increased health and damage and crippling poison, and look at that damage buff, 45% increased damage. That's crazy for 15 power. 466, 469. We have double Grenade Launcher Heretics for Gote, and he's got some Chaos Space Marines too. And that Sword of Flame I saw, yes. Damage over time melee weapon also gives him the Coruscating Flame, which is usually used to support melee heretics early on, which he doesn't have, so he's probably just gonna shove that on the Chaos Sorcerer before he goes into combat. Could use it on Chaos Space Marines of course as well if sluggers try to fight them. And here's that Pain Boy. Tier 1 support sub-commander for Orks, has a heal over time, more specifically that only affects Ork units, and some powerful power melee damage as well. Those Chaos Space Marines will not like to fight him in tier 1, nor will the Sorcerer really. And here is the Warrior Brood, and he is going for a Barb Strangler Floid. Devastators there though, with that heavy bolter that will suppress infantry. There you see the suppression, reducing the speed and the fire rate of affected units. Grenade Barrage goes in to disrupt the Devastators, and the Hive Tyrant is trying to sneak around, but that's an excellent flank by Gote. Metroidd getting doubled, and scouts are wiped out. Ouch. Is he going to get double Adrenal Glands before he levels? Or before he tears up, I should say. He's getting... yes, he is. 75-15 gives them increased health and damage, and allows them to leap into combat. At the moment they're under Synapse, so they can also leap over obstacles. 394, 469, they don't disrupt when they leap in though. Here we see it. Adrenal Glands allowed him to leap into those sluggers, and a full retreat from Rags. Red team doing well, sticking together and forcing off each player in turn. Rags goes tier 2. It's quite a quick tier 2. Didn't upgrade his shooters at all, and that's a pretty rare thing to see in tier 1 for Orks. Most Orc players rely on shooters for their killiness in tier 1 and their DPS and some control from big shooters, but none of that we see. Go straight into tier 2, maybe a quick death dread or something, or a war truck. 372469. This is 2.2 beta 4. Lots of nice bug fixes in beta 4. Not much balance tweaks. In fact, I don't think there were any, unless you count the Raven Alpha's Hive node cloud no longer affecting the Hive node itself. A balance tweak, but apparently it was always meant to be like that. It just wasn't set up right in the files by a relic, but now it is. So it's a bug fix that affects balance, I suppose. 336469. Both of these Hormagaunts in retreat. Not sure why they retreated. I thought they were going to try and eat up that Devastator. Maybe he didn't know which way this one was facing. You see double Devastators from Metroidd, which is commonly a decent way to fight the Hive Tyrant, because you can get charge to counter one setup team very hard, but he'll probably need Raveners to counter two, depending on how you position them. We'll see though. You could charge one and just flank the other with double Hormagaunts. Very much a possibility, you'll see. Blue team have lost one of the natural power nodes. This one has triple gens. Red team have triple on both. We have some Havocs up by Gote with a heavy bolter, much like Devastators, but the guys suppress even better. Don't do as much damage though, I don't think. 285, 467 scouts getting out of cover in no man's land. You actually take more courage damage, so you will get suppressed faster if you're not in cover, which is really something to consider, and it's why melee forces are countered so well by setup teams, because they need to obviously run into the open to get into combat. 285, 453. Weird Boy is what Rags has gone for. Very good choice. Great in all matchups. A sub-commander for Orks. Great for taking on blobs of infantry. And it's just incredibly useful. Has two great starting abilities and a great basic attack. You don't even really need to upgrade this guy, and he's awesome, but he has got the bigger brains. Gives him over there. Might see something here. A zap perhaps, or just a basic attack. There is the basic attack. Boom. Does a really hefty amount of damage and knockback. And there's over there on the sluggers, and the paint boy was in there as well. Sluggers do have their knob leader, but no burners, forcing off those Havocs, almost wiping them out. In fact, they do wipe them out. That was crazy. Swamp them up on these sluggers from the knob leader. Gives them that ability. That's 40% less range damage and +1 speed while it's active as well. And wow, Gote almost lost his Chaos Space Marines. Very nearly did. 23 hit points. One more hit from that pain boy would have taken him down. That was a really bad engagement for Gote. Investments of the warp he has up. 285, 408. Not sure why. Maybe to help counter the Devastators, I suppose. Flamer Tactical Marines. Hive Tyrant still has no war gear and he's getting warp vomited, and this ability is crazy. Look how long that stun is. It's still going on those warriors. There's the Barb Strangler going in. Suppresses the Weird Boy. He's taking quite a lot of damage and does get retreated. Big, messy engagement here, especially from Floid. Now has Warrior Brew way out of position, tying up a Devastator squad, but the Force Commander's there. We have Kraken Bolts, Tactical Marines firing in, doing extra damage to this heavy armor of the Warrior Brood, and they're forced off. So, Floyd lost one of his Hormagaunts, but he has his double warriors which he likes to use. He likes to keep one with Barb Strangler, one with Adrenal Glands, which he doesn't have yet, and those guys lost two models. Now going for a Zone Throw, as you'd expect, I suppose, versus double Devastators. But look at this, Metroidd gets a Dreadnought on the field soon. Halfway done. Gote already has one, and he's going for Mark of Khorne. Great synergy with the Chaos Sorcerer, perhaps surprisingly, if you pay attention to the lore of 40k, but he can teleport it out of trouble with his global ability, and the Mark of Khorne Dreadnought gets in trouble quite often. Now has these two close combat claws and Blood Rage, which is what gets it into trouble. There you see the ability mentioned in the tooltip. Increased damage, speed and durability, but you lose control of the Dreadnought. Here's a Tzeentch Shrine. Nice to see some more Shrine play from Chaos. Chaos went into quite a lot of trouble to make Shrines a bit more attractive to use and to see them used a bit more often. They are now restricted to 3 per player, but are generally much stronger than they were in retail. The Tzeentch Shrine now grants 10% damage resistance to your units. The Khorne Shrine grants plus 10% damage. The Noble Shrine doesn't get an extra ability, but that shrine is awesome anyway. 278, 299. I think the bolts, these things shoot out Doom bolts, and I think they were buffed as well in Elite Mod. I think they travel faster or do more damage, or perhaps even both. Here comes the Warboss, and he has a power cry, and he is seriously angry. 95 heavy melee DPS, and he's put user choppers on himself, but is he going to be able to take on a Blood Rage Dreadnought? No way is he going to be able to. There's a Pain Boy heal on him. Huge engagement here. There's a Capillary Tower. There's double Tzeentch Shrine shooting out those Doom Bolts. They have decent range as well, as you can see, doing decent damage to those shooters. Wow, that is painful. Rags stayed in that engagement way too long. Weird Boy needs to be careful. I think the Chaos Dreadnought was teleported out. Yes, here it is. 250, 299. I don't think you can use the Global Warp on a Blood Rage Dreadnought while Blood Rage is active. I'm not sure. I remember hearing some people mention that. Some Chaos Sorcerer players. 240, 299. But you can now affect allied units with it. Since, I think, Beta 2. Assault Cannon Dreadnought for Metroidd, and that's surprising to me. I thought it was going to stick with the melee Dreadnought to go up against these Tyranids coming in, but I suppose there are no Gene Stealers for Floid. He's gone for a Zone Throat, so he can pick that off from range with that Assault Cannon. This thing does a lot of damage to a single target. Also, of course, grants him the awesome barrage, which will really hurt double Termagants. Biggest threat right now is this Chaos Dreadnought with the close combat clause, especially if it's paired up with a Zone Throat Snare from Focus Warp Blast. Space Marine Dreadnought loses some damage and loses splash damage when it gets a ranged weapon. Still retains its inspiration on a melee kill though. 206, 299. Force Commander has the teleport, you can tell by that upwards arrow denoting a jump or teleporting unit. 206, 299. We do now have Adrenal Gland Warriors, so these Hormagaunts with Ender Swarm up to 10 models now have melee Synapse, boosting their health by 60%. Those Devastators just about getting away, and there is the Assault Cannon Barrage. Wow. 206, 299. If you're wondering why the Dreadnought is a different colour, by the way, because he's recolored Dark Angels who paint their Terminators and their vehicles different colours, well, their Dreadnoughts and their Land Raiders in a way. Capillary Tower there, boosting the speed by +1 of these Tyranids and giving them increased visual range, which will help out that Zone Throat a lot, of course. And they're camping mid and doing a good job of it. We have a Chaos Dreadnought here, almost halfway to level 2, double Tzeentch Shrines, some Tzeentch worship, which makes the bolts shoot more frequently, I think, if you worship the shrine. Marco Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines, which hurt everything. And this is a vehicle. Here comes that Dreadnought. Rags all the way over here. Still has that Weird Boy. And he's tier 3. Doesn't quite have the red for a nuke. You can set up some really nasty nukes with that Warp Vomit. 172, 299. And everyone's tier 3 now. Might see something big soon from Floid, or perhaps a Doom with Manentite, which is big, of course, but in a different way. There's Doom Bolts going in from the Chaos Sorcerer. Missed everything, but the Zone Throat is a pain in the arse. Now taking damage though from the Dreadnought. Needs to run away, Floid. There we go. There's a heal on the Sluggers, and now they do have their burners decreased in cost in Beta 2. 155, 299. Tyrant goes down. Wow. Sluggers upgraded alongside a Pain Boy. Dish out a whole bunch of damage, don't they? 148299, huge engagement. Mark of Corn Dreadnought going after the Warboss, and down he goes. Blood Rage just wearing off at exactly the right time. That is Dark Flames on retreat path. That was spiteful by Gote. Did very well, almost finished off the double shooters. Left one with one model and the other squad with three with very little hit points. And both their commanders went down in a little pile. And that's a Power Claw Warboss, so he's going to want him on the field. 129299. Red team in the ascendancy with 2-to-1 cap. But here come some Deathwing Terminators. Well, I suppose they're not Deathwing anymore. It's not Dark Angel's colours anymore. With Thunder Hammers and Storm Shields. These are Assault Terminators, unique to the Force Commander. And as you can see here, they have a new portrait created by Kilgarn, an artist who's created a bunch of portraits in these betas, especially for Grey Knights. Go and check them out on the forums if you haven't already. They are pretty spectacular. 107299, a Chaos Predator on the way for Gote. So these are a unique Terminator variant. Only the Force Command has access to these guys, and those Thunder Hammers damage all targets. And they have ungodly amounts of health, 5,400 because of those shields. Can get Lightning Claws, but I don't think he will. I think he's expecting some monstrous creatures from Floid. In fact, do we have one already? Nope. He has tons of pot, those double warriors and zone throat. And here's a battle wagon for Rags, super unit for Orks. Runs over stuff and blows stuff up. Has 2 units garrisoned inside. If you garrison a unit inside it, it will get increased speed, I think +1, and all of its guns will fire. The Hive Tyrant's going after it. He has the Crushing Claw. You can tell because the model of the Hive Tyrant actually changes, gets those 2 big claws on his front. Also has Bonded Exoskeleton and Psychic Scream, so he's kitted out a pretty beastly Hive Tyrant, but he's still only level 2. Needs some XP, and he's getting it by tearing apart his sluggers. This is over 100 DPS heavy melee. I always forget the exact figure. I think it's 107 or 106. 79285. Double Devastators still retaining their heavy bolters, though we might see a las cannon on one of them if a Carnifex makes an appearance. These are some late game sluggers by Rags, and he's going for a Nob Squad now. You have Assault Terminators and a Nob Squad on the same team. Gote with a Mark of Nurgle Predator tank. This thing now regenerates health. Its shell also poisons the ground with Nurgle crap. Does damage over time, but it loses some effectiveness versus vehicles. As you can see there, enemy infantry takes flame DPS for 4 seconds. 79258. Seen Gote use the Mark of Nurgle Predator quite a lot. Seems like he's a fan of it. 79256. And wow, with that Mark of Tzeentch worship, it's going to be even tougher with the 20% range damage reduction for partially revealed units. 79256. Here come Assault Terminators. That doesn't want to take too many rear armor hits from these guys. He's overextended this thing, and then subjugates the Terminators with the Tome of Subjugation. Now he can control them for a short period of time, and they have invulnerability as well. That was a Rocks. Forced off the Tyranids. I don't think he lost anything though. 79256. A Carnifex on the way for Floid. There is Chains of Torment. Wow, the Force Commander has Terminator armor, just flamed an entire Heretic squad down with this heavy flamer. This thing is awesome. That is the good thing about the Force Commander Terminator armor. You don't see it all that often, but it does give your Force Commander some awesome ranged options. It is expensive though. What's this? Battle Wagon in base takes down the Predator tank. And everything loads back in there. Battle Wagon is a pretty strong unit right now in Elite Mod. Floats around in the air for some reason, but it's still going. 79256. Can red team push back? I'm not sure they can. They're up against Force Commander Terminator, Assault Terminators, Nob Squad, Battle Wagon, Nob Squad with Pain Boy support and Warboss support, of course. This guy's level 3. Put Ard Boys and User Choppers on Nob Squad with Pain Boy support. Not a lot of things that can force them off. Another Chaos Predator for Gote, maybe a Mark of Corn. 79, 235, all of the marks for the Chaos Predator are really good now, I think. Terminator Force Commander getting that Flame Decorator because of that Heavy Flamer, and that Cleansing Flame is nasty. You might teleport into these Tyranids and use it. You automatically get a teleporter with Terminator armor, and the Force Commander Terminator can retreat, of course. Hive Tyrant is going to try and decap with invulnerability up. Warboss, as you might have caught there, now has the heavy armor, which gives him plus 900 hit points. It's pretty nuts. So he's up to 1848 now. What is this? Big Zap Gun shot, good grief. That's the big ability of the Battle Wagon. That was crazy. Red team lobbing up a bit there. Carnifex with the Thornback upgrade. Floid a big fan of this, and it's an awesome upgrade. 1875 hit points on a Walker. That does a lot of damage. Going after the Dreadnought, I think, trying to tie it up. But there's a las cannon. What is it shooting at? Oh, it's shooting at the Dreadnought. Subjugated Nob Squad. Can they take down their allied Pain Boy? Looks like he will get away just about. Yes, and the Predator tank was able to back off, and it's gone from Favoured of Tzeentch on that thing. 79, 217. Red team, can they hold on and see this out? Dreadnought is being chased, but should be fine. We have now Lightning Claw Terminators, decreases their health to 4,500, but they get spectacular power melee splash damage, and they will rip apart all of these Tyranids in no time. Going after that Warrior Brood, and the Hormagaunts have their Warrior Brood leader, which grants them and only them melee synapse if they don't already have yet access to it, and gives them a very tough model. As you can see here, has 525 hit points and heavy melee DPS, the same as the individual Warrior Brood models. 70-217, 2-tone cap for red. But can they hold this? Should they be putting some pressure on blue's natural here? Send something in to have a look at it, at least maybe teleport the Sorcerer in there, try and decap it. But they're going to try and hold. It's risky. They know the things that blue team have. Terminators, Nob Squad, that Dreadnought still kicking level 2 now with Dark Age of technology. Improves its melee inspiration, but he's not going to get a lot of melee kills with the Assault Cannon equipped. 49-217. Hive Tyrant leading the line. Invulnerability goes up, going straight after the Dreadnought, but does a special attack. Las Cannon getting a big hit on the Carnifex, snaring its movement, doing a lot of damage, and the Hive Tyrant is going to tie it up. A big choice to make there. Does he type the Dreadnought or the Devastators? Forces off the Devastators should now turn his attention to the Dreadnought, but he's still chasing. There he goes. Carnifex and the Hive Tyrant on his Dreadnought now. It's in huge amounts of trouble. Hive Tyrant stops. What is he doing? There he goes. Big fight over this victory point as well. Lightning Core Terminators are in there, taking a lot of damage. He's a tier 3 Lictor, and this thing hurts a lot. Around about 100 heavy melee DPS on this guy, and this is a model that can infiltrate, that can jump, and that can flesh hook right out the gate. 43-195. Zone Throw is still going, level 2. Lightning Core Terminators against these Chaos Space Marines. Gote has forgotten about them, and they are wiped out. Terminators cannot level, and they take out the Zone Throw as well. These guys have been tremendous. And there's the double for blue. Can they get a triple? These Terminators are going to risk a cap here. Does he have the teleporter on cooldown? I'm not sure. Hive Tyrant uses Psychic Scream and runs away, debuffing the damage of those shooters. Level 2 and level 3 shooters. Gote lost his entire army pretty much, has a Heretic squad left, and that's it. But he is getting a great and clean one. Don't see it being enough. The Assault Terminators will do a lot of damage to a Great Unclean One, and he uses Orbital Bombardment very well to help out those Terminators. It's just going to whack these guys. Boom. That's the global nuke for Space Marines, and the Hormagaunts survive thanks to their lonely warrior leader. 43-115, that's Tyrant formation. Global nuke for Tyranids. Not sure what he was trying to do with it. They knocked around an Nob Squad and he just got back up again, and look at this. The Paint Boy is now doing a surgery on those Nob Squad, so they're going to have permanently increased damage or health or speed after that. See if we can work out what he's done. Usually players go for increased speed, and that might be what he did. Don't see any increased health in a way. 43-89. Here comes that Carnifex. The form of that Carnifex can charge, and it can birth out some Rippers. A single cap for blue. There's a fight going on mid. What's going on? It's the Sorcerer versus an Nob Squad, not a fight that he wants. Slugger's there to take him out in retreat, and down he goes. Another Chaos Predator for Gote. Great Unclean One is on the field. Carnifex lives. Blob cap in for Floid. Hive Tyrant charging and forcing everything off. He's level 4. Where's that big fella? There he is. A Great Unclean One up. Going after the Nob Squad. Nob Squad have Ard Boys and user choppers on them though. That Lictor is in trouble. There's the foul snare of the Great Unclean One. Needs to worship this guy, I think. Lictor is not going to get away. Or is he? Wow. With one hit point, I think there. Great Unclean One does a lot of damage. Passively damages nearby enemies as well, and has some nasty ability. Just consumed a heretic there because he can really run out of energy if you use all of his abilities. 6,000 hit points. There is the cloud of flies knocking back and poisoning all of this stuff. But here come Lightning Claw Terminators alongside the Nob Squad. There's not a lot of things that can stand against that. 39-74, it's close. 2-to-1 cap for red. Can they hold on? Gote recovering well, I think, with a Great Unclean One and a Predator tank. He's gone for Mark of Nurgle again. Not a good choice, I think, versus the Nob Squad. Does give it increased durability, but also decreases its speed, and when you're being chased by Nobs and perhaps a Warboss, that's not what you want. Should have gone for Mark of Thorn, I think. Great Unclean One goes down. This thing will explode, healing allies and damaging enemies. Let's see how much damage it does to this Force Commander Terminator, because it looks like he's going to try and cap here. Nope. Boom! Wow, look at the damage it did. They must have done over 1,000 damage there. Should have seen how much health he started that cap with. 29-57. Carnifex is level 2 for Floid. Rippers spawn. It's a single cap for blue. They've held on to their under 100 VPs for quite a while. There is the Circle of Summoning, or Demonic Summoning, whatever it's called, for the Chaos Sorcerer. Will spit out bloodletters, and they're going to take out this las cannon. Are they? No, Ripper's getting in the way there. All kicking off on Red's natural victory point, capped by blue team. At the moment they have a triple, and surely are going to go on to win this. There's a Swarm Lord all of a sudden. And its Lightning Claw is not looking so good because there's a Carnifex and a Swarm Lord who both have vehicle armor. Swarm Lord is the super unit for Tyranids, but looks like this is over. There's the double cap. Even if they cap their natural back, it's still going to be a 2-to-1, and blue team take it. What an awesome fight. Some massive engagements over here. Surprised we didn't see more nukes. Only saw 3 that I saw anyway. Chaos Predator at the end of Mark of Nurgle. Gote lost a lot of stuff, just couldn't really recover well enough. They couldn't put down an Squad, got to level 2. Warboss, look at the commanders, level 5. The Force Commander Terminator gets reset when he gets Terminator armor. Chaos Sorcerer level 4, and the Hive Tyrant level 4. There it is. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.